Cool,
Anyway,
guys. What's been happening?
Well,
Crypto or otherwise?
Oh, otherwise? All right,
Yeah.
cool. My ankle's been really sore this week.
Sure, let's talk about that.
No, I was going to talk about the Boost Juice crypto competition for our international listeners,
yeah.
which we have a lot of. You know, from the inner plains of Mongolia and such. You might not know about this. I don't know if Boost is international, but it's like Jamba Juice in America. Yeah, and they had a competition where if you buy Boost Juice, you get one guess to pick the price of Bitcoin. Was it yesterday?
Every Monday for a month.
Oh, really? I
So
thought
it
it was
was four Bitcoins, and they gave one away each Monday.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize it was continuous.
Yeah.
But yeah, so if you're looking to invest in more smoothie-based ways, this might be more for you. I thought it was over. I was going to ask how you guys did because I know that you guys. I thought you guys got involved.
Well, we both lost.
Yeah,
Thanks for asking, mate.
very much. I think what I guessed was about double the price of Bitcoin now.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Very cool. Very nice.
Yeah.
At the time, it wasn't that much. It wasn't close. It wasn't that far away from where it was.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think it tanked a little bit
price went
recently.
down. Yeah. So that's no good.
Yeah, we should, just to save us some time in making this podcast, we should just like copy paste the bit of us being like, yep, so the price tanked a bit this week.
Has been a bit of that lately.
Yeah. I mean, within 24 hours, it's up, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like
it has been a good day.
10 steps back, but 1 step up, baby.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, this is the Coin Street Times podcast. It is, what's the date, please, somebody?
March 20th.
20th
March 20th of March. 6 p.m. probably around there.
It's exactly 6:12.
Okay, cool. And yeah, as the guys were saying, it's been a pretty down week, but with an up day.
Yeah. It's a silver lining.
And
day.
a down hour, if anyone's counting.
But the minutes are looking hopeful.
The minutes are looking great, so if you got a second, invest. I think EOS has been up today,
right,
by a fair bit. I think Stellar has had a good day. They had some talk about using Lightning Network technology.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
Ethereum's a bit down. I think EOS actually dumped a lot of Ethereum. Don't know why.
EOS dumped a lot of Ethereum.
Yeah.
The people that own EOS sold their Ethereum.
Yeah. Don't ask me how it works.
No. What?
Man, I'm just here to make money, dude.
Yeah. No, I just don't understand. Why did Ethereum do something that really offended them? Were they like, EOS is a scam?
Aren't they still like an ERC20 token as well?
That'd be funny if they were an ERC20. By the way, to our listeners, ERC20 token, it just means that your token runs on top of the Ethereum network.
Right.
So it's actually, you haven't really done any blockchain development. You've just created a token through someone else's service, which, you know, a lot of tokens now are like that because they're planning to launch their mainnet and they're testing. It's a very exciting, you know, early day for crypto, but it'd be really funny if a company had an ERC20 token, but they were like, Ethereum's going down. There's no chance of succeeding.
Bail.
Yeah.
All right, should we get into some news?
Yeah, let's get into the news.
All right, cool. It's pretty light on news this week, but there has been some more exciting stuff that's come up of the last few days.
Mm-hmm.
So the G20 is happening. So I think the big G20 stuff's happening later on in the year with like all the presidents and the prime ministers and stuff.
Right, yeah.
But they have like preliminary events with like less important stuff happening.
Oh, okay.
And yesterday there was one with finance ministers and central bank governors meeting. And so they just discuss, you know, who they want to make president, who they're going to assassinate, you know, just general banker stuff. And but the crypto eyes were on this whole meeting because they're wanting to know what these finance guys were going to say about crypto.
Right.
And it was very similar to that like SEC chat last time.
Yeah.
Where basically there was a lot of worry that they're going to say something bad. They didn't say anything bad. And they said stuff that were like really vague and like slightly good. And then the crypto like community just said it was like fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I hope it's the same because I think after that, the market kind of went quite up for a bit.
It did.
So,
yeah. Well, that's probably the main thing driving it up today.
Yeah. And I wouldn't be surprised if the thing driving it down in the days coming to it was fear about how it was going to turn out. So,
right.
I think you might see a lot of people buying back in. But
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, who knows?
I saw one headline saying US Congress officially supports blockchain technology, if I get the quotes from the article, it was stuff like we should proceed with prudence, which is just like
The opposite.
that. Yeah, it's just like the exact like thing that government officials say, like it because they're so worried about being wrong. Like,
Yeah.
what should they not proceed with prudence for? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, exactly. It's just like when they say absolutely nothing in the most words possible. Like,
Right, exactly.
So blockchain is a thing,
Yeah.
and we acknowledge it as a thing.
We can neither confirm nor deny.
right.
Yeah. The role it will take in the world, but we can confirm it's a thing.
Right. And they also said like it could be a great tool.
Yeah.
Sure. I mean, yeah, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then, yeah. So they officially support blockchain technology, guys.
Yeah.
But I think so the Bank of England governor and head of financial, these lights are killing me. Financial Stability Board.
I've got these fancy smart lights and I set them up to change every second to try and get some energy into the podcast, some dynamism. But apparently they're killing Joe. So I'm going to just turn on the spooky setting and make them flicker instead. Is that better?
Yeah, that'd be great. I do have epilepsy, so that'd be
Cool.
good.
All right, let's do the strobe. Here we go.
Oh,
Whoa.
God.
I really hope you guys don't actually have epilepsy because I can do that. Anyway, back to normal lights.
All right.
Let's go normal lights. What were you saying? Sorry.
Yeah, so this guy, his name's Mark Carney, told G20 members that crypto assets do not pose a threat to the world's economy and traditional financial systems.
So I was mixing the lights. What was the
Don't.
first half of that sentence?
He says cryptocurrency does not pose a threat to the world's economy and traditional financial systems.
Right.
This is what he's telling all the banker dudes.
Yeah. And so again, it's like 0.1% positive. It's like, well, he's saying
Yeah.
it's not terrible.
And you could also take that the other way. Like, these guys are like going to go nowhere. You know what I mean? They're not going to be a threat to us.
Yeah, that's true
I was
actually.
just saying,
we can-
he's
Oh, right.
Which
Wrong
way?
to
Which way do you
point,
flip it?
isn't he? Like,
Well, I guess it depends what he means by threat. He could be like, it will exist, happily with, these things and don't worry about that. He could mean it that way when actually it will probably
Right.
just, devour some of the things.
Yeah.
Or he could mean it like, don't worry, it's going to fizzle out. I'm not sure what he's meaning really.
Yeah, but it's almost certainly is a threat to traditional financial systems.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
I would absolutely
Yeah.
think so. I think people are thinking it'll just get rid of banks. Like, there are people
Yeah.
which is like all of the economy. Like, banks are huge. Like,
So strike one, Mark Carney.
no, but
dumbass.
I can't tell whether it's good that he's saying that.
I
or
think
bad.
he actually is talking about it quite positively. I
Okay.
think they were saying this guy's cool.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He's just
But-
done very little research. Or
yeah. No,
Yeah.
wait. Maybe he's really aware of cryptocurrency, but he's trying to make sure that people don't view it as a really dangerous, scary thing.
Yeah.
okay.
Similar to AI, I think a lot of people are scared about, AI as a technology, but there are people saying, don't worry, it's going to be great. Even if they are very aware of, the power it has.
Right.
Which may be better for the world, if we use it correctly. But maybe
Well,
they
if
just don't want
someone's
people to have
never used
pandemonium.
anything correctly.
Yeah, okay, that's fair. Is it? Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. People didn't like rock music for a while. They said that was the devil, but that turned out okay.
Those are very different
Yeah, they are.
things.
They totally are. I'm pulling out what's his name, Mark something. I'm pulling a
Mark Carney.
Mark Carney right now.
Yeah.
Like, forget about it. It's fine.
So this is great. The bankers are going to be unaware when we pull the rug from underneath them.
Great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's the inside man,
Yeah.
the crypto inside man.
Cool.
Oh, I have a question actually about that,
Okay.
if I may.
Please do.
Do you reckon? She's like, I'm dying. Do you reckon we could have do you reckon we will have crypto banks as one of the first steps towards that kind of flippening, as you'd call it in the crypto world?
Flipping.
Yeah.
Morovsky, dude.
Yeah, crypto bank. Morovsky?
Yeah, that was the Chinese startup with the bank without bankers.
Oh yeah.
The Ryan Gosling was the graphic designer.
So maybe not that one. But do you guys think, I know I see some Facebook ads for something, I think it's called Zinja or something. I don't know if you guys see these ads. It's I think it's maybe
Wait, you've seen a crypto ad on
Illegal now?
on Facebook.
Facebook?
But it's not a crypto, it's not an ICO.
Right.
It's they're trying to be like a crypto bank or something.
Okay.
I could be, this is completely uneducated.
Yeah.
I didn't stop to read it because it's an ad. But do you reckon that could be a first step for the flipping, for overtaking that?
What do you mean by flipping?
Well, people generally say flipping between I think Bitcoin and
Ethereum,
Ethereum. So that will be the event where Ethereum just completely dislodges Bitcoin's cemented place. But I mean, instead of between Bitcoin and Ethereum, between old financial institutions and crypto.
See, I thought the flipping was a bunch of nude leaks of Satoshi Nakamoto and Charlie
I've got
Lee
those saved completely, but that's a completely different.
and Jed McCaleb.
those are
Just
saucy, those
a lot
ones.
of pasty naked men.
What do you mean?
Well, I think one of the main causes of the flipping might be people not storing the money in banks and storing the money on decentralized ledgers.
Yeah, well, I guess
Yeah.
that's kind of blockchain. Like,
Right.
I guess you know what? That's right. I guess what's the point of a bank?
Right. If there's no money stored in them.
Yeah.
Well, I know Bank of America, and there was another one, like a European bank, which is named I can't remember. But they're offering their services for like holding your crypto.
But what
Right.
in exchange for what? Like, what do you
Like,
get from giving me your crypto?
Pay them, I suppose.
But wait, why would you want to pay them to hold your crypto?
Yeah.
Well, because it's hard, and dumb people who don't get computers
Oh,
would
okay.
rather just be like,
So,
right, you hold
yeah.
that for me. And
Okay. Yeah, actually, that might be a thing. That might actually end up being because I guess crypto really isn't super user friendly. Although I think more likely, in my opinion, I think crypto will just become more user friendly. People will
Yeah.
make tools to make it more user friendly. Like computers, when they first would like terminal line stuff, people were like, this will never catch on to be mainstream. People just made graphical user interfaces and made it accessible to people.
Yeah.
Now we've got our face spaces and our my books and all these crazy things.
Absolutely, Jace.
Thanks, guys. Thank you so much.
Okay, let's move on to another piece of news.
Let's do it.
Donald Trump has issued an executive order which prohibits American citizens using for the Venezuelan crypto, the Petro.
Right, the one we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he said it was dodgy and illegitimate, and if people want to find out more about it, go to Donald Trump University.
See, that scares
Don't
me.
interrupt my monologues, mate.
No, what I was going to say is that scares me because I feel like that's the opinion I had. To hear that Donald Trump has the same opinion I have is very scary.
Right,
Because he's wrong about almost
Yeah.
everything.
right.
Maybe we should invest in the Petro. What do you guys reckon?
I was actually
You
joking about the
haven't
whole.
already?
Wait, what?
You haven't already?
Oh no, I've missed out on the ICO.
Yeah, obviously I'm joking about the whole dodginess, but I think the main reason behind the whole banning the Petro thing is for political reasons. So the president of Venezuela, who of course is Jace.
Yep. Present.
See.
Hola.
Shit, I can't read my handwriting. Nicolas Maduro.
Bonjour.
He's done a few questionable things. He's like changed the constitution to be more favorable for himself, and he's dissolved the power of the Democratic Election National Assembly. And so there's like hyperinflation, a lack of resources and food and stuff. And so I think he's actually doing that to not encourage that regime.
Donald Trump's doing it to
Donald
not
Trump's
encourage.
doing
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really interesting because I thought his tactic before was just bomb them, but I guess this might work too. I don't know. You never know.
Yeah.
Agenda.
So I guess it's not much of a crypto story, but more of a political story.
Yeah, and it's time
Yeah.
to get political.
9/11.
Did
Is
it
that
happen?
job or not?
Yeah. I'm saying, did it happen? We do people say, did the Holocaust happen? How long do you think it has to be before you can say, did 9/11 happen? I guess when we're old people
Yeah.
Yeah.
2080.
and we won't even remember. We're like, I think it did. Like,
Yeah.
I remember like movies
I
about
saw it on the TV.
it. Yeah.
Actually, not even. Because I was young.
You didn't see it on the TV?
I can't remember it happening at all.
I mean, not live,
I remember
right?
my parents vaguely talking about it, but I don't actually remember shit.
You don't remember where you were when 9/11 happened? That's like a classic
Oh.
question. Where were you when 9/11 happened?
Joking off.
Made for a weird experience, but I got through it. TV?
I can't remember it happening at all.
I mean, not live,
I
right?
remember my parents vaguely talking about it, but I don't actually remember shit.
You don't remember where you were when 9/11 happened? That's like a classic
Oh.
question. Where were you when 9/11 happened?
Joking off.
Made for a weird experience, but I got through it.
I don't know. I was pretty young.
Yeah, what were you saying?
Oh no, the point's gone. I can't remember shit.
It was something about you being young and jacking off to 9/11, I think.
I don't know, but that's a great name for my autobiography.
Being young and jacking off to 9/11. I think we've managed to offend
Anyway.
just about everyone
Yeah.
with all these comments, so please.
Yeah, but I guess you can use crypto as a tool for political.
Yeah, do you
Power.
reckon that's their idea? Is using it to try and gain more control over the country, or do you reckon it's just trying to make a quick buck?
The Venezuelan dude.
Yeah.
Oh.
I didn't give you many options, by the way.
Yeah.
Like this bad thing or this bad thing.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's super dodgy. I think it's a quick buck scheme.
Buck.
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's control.
Oh, interesting.
I think if you're in control of a country and shit's going south quick, making a quick buck isn't what's on your mind. Because if shit goes south, you're, getting decapitated by an angry mob.
Yeah, it's probably hard to exit scam from a country.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Although that being said, he's probably making a decent amount of cash from it.
Yeah, I'm confident that. I mean, actually, didn't they say it was going to be like proof of stake, but you can mine it or something like that?
Yeah, it's going to be backed by the price of oil, and
right.
you can still mine it, which
Yeah, so
does not make sense.
I'm guessing he said he wanted to do a second one, which is backed by their gold reserves, which I can't imagine is much.
I mean, they literally could have just like created a coin, made 1 trillion of them, and then said, "Oh, we made 1,000 of them, so that's like the maximum cap. We're gonna spread give 0.1 to this company, 0.1 to this company, and then just slowly sell them off forever." I think people are like worried that some coins might be doing that. So yeah, that's a real thing.
Right.
Watch out, guys. Stay safe. Also, I was gonna say about the kind of automated management of crypto. You guys know MakerDAO?
Oh yeah,
MakerDAO.
Yeah.
It's like basically a currency that aims to be like an autonomous stable currency. Well, it's not.
Yeah.
MakerDAO itself is not a stable currency, but it's a method to create another coin, DAI, which is like a stable currency.
Coin, yep.
But it's different to most.
DAI.
DAI.
Spelled DAI.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's cool. But yeah, so a way to like, have a currency that, because Tether is stable, but it's backed by,
Right.
it's dependent on world factors, whereas this is, ideally not. But the interesting thing about that is that I guess it relates back to the previous thing we were talking about, the function of banks and stuff, is that you can take out a collateralized loan in, DAI or whatever, and pay it back. And it's all done with smart contracts. So there's no actual middleman. You're doing it completely on the blockchain. Like your money is held in the contract and then you get it back, which is kind of crazy to me to think about, that you could have if you want to buy a house in 20 years, right?
Right.
You don't go to a bank and pay exorbitant interest rates.
Right.
You do it on the system and pay like a far lower interest rate because it's all automatically managed. Yeah. So,
How do they keep it stable? Is it backed by something, or is it like?
It's real complicated. I'm not an expert, but I know that there are automatic buying and selling bots.
Wait, you're not an expert?
No, I am an expert on everything else except this.
'Cause I was going to say.
No, but they have automatic buying and selling bots that like react to price changes and stuff. I don't know the exact details, but it's
Oh
complicated.
yeah, we know how crypto goes with bots. All good. Let's move on. Do you guys watch Shark Tank?
I do like it.
Yeah.
So you know that Kevin O'Leary guy, the Mr. Wonderful, they call him?
I'm very familiar, yes.
Cool. Are you an expert?
I would say next. I don't know why I said I'm very familiar because I just barely know him. Go ahead.
So he's a big business guy if you're not familiar with him. So Shark Tank's a show where they get like some billionaires and millionaires together and then people pitch their ideas. Anyway, so he's one of the guys on there and he's a very famous businessman in the US. And so basically he's getting into the crypto space. And he said that asset-based coins will eventually replace small cap stocks.
Right.
Right. And so he's announced on Squawk Box, which is some like financial show, that he's going to work with a $400 million hotel in New York to release a coin, which gives people the opportunity to invest in that hotel.
Right. So it's acting purely as a stock.
Yeah. So it's like an asset-based coin, I guess.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he said they were selling a third of it. Like a
Yeah.
third of the shares were going via this.
Right.
Mm.
Yeah. That's interesting. I mean, I guess it is a useful way to represent, assets and value in a company.
Yeah.
But I guess it's also one of the less necessary applications.
Oh, for sure.
So yeah.
But it is like an interesting new way of doing it. And down the track, if you want to sell your share, it's probably a lot easier to sell it like selling your coins rather than going through the whole legal side of things.
I guess it's kind of similar to the previous thing about taking a loan out decentralized, not having to worry about a middleman. Same thing,
Right.
where, if you want to, buy and sell stocks now, you're paying brokerage and whatever. Same thing. It might just be the same thing where you can trade, equity in companies without actually paying.
That's what the girl on the Squawk Box said. Like, so you're kind of getting rid of the middleman, like the stock exchange. Right. She was like, oh. You saw like in her eyes for like a second, she was like, oh.
Oh, really? That's funny. Also, I can imagine him being very interested in this kind of idea because I guess his whole thing is trying to find things and make them a big new thing. So I can imagine he'd want to jump into crypto as well.
Yeah. And one interesting thing about this is it's been approved by the SEC. And so, you know how like they're like really against ICOs and stuff. And so he talked a bit about that as well. He said, so if you want to like release coins in America, just go to the SEC and say you want to work with them. You want to be regulated and want to work with them, and they'll work with you. So that was his advice to crypto startups in the US.
Right. Yeah, I think I've found like a lot of the successful kind of crypto entities have been the ones that have, you know, instead of just being like, we got to fight against regulation, they've been like, we want to work with we want to make every country happy, but, you know, try and be reasonable about your regulations. And so I think that's the best way. Like, I think I watched a presentation from CZ from Binance, the head of Binance, and he was very much saying like, you know, a lot of people think that we're going to, you know, fight against regulators. We're not. We will bow down happily to all regulations. We want to work cooperatively with them. You know, all we ask is that you be reasonable, you know, in what you request, and that it has, you know, everyone's best interests in mind. Just
quickly on Binance, I heard that they were the fastest ever unicorn, which is like a company to be worth like $1 billion.
Actually, I said really, but now I think about it, it's not that surprising. Yeah. I mean, it's a very impressive, but you know, they have skyrocketed so huge. They really rode crypto, I guess. They picked the right coin to buy. Yeah.
I thought it was funny that what's his name, O'Leary. He started that interview as like he dropped the fact that he was doing that hotel thing and said, "Well, I can't really say much because it's actually like an NDA." And blah, 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 blah. And then he goes and spills like all this information on it.
Right.
And yeah, just thought it was funny.
That is funny.
On live TV.
Yeah. What if he just not under an NDA, but it just makes it sound more cool and exclusive?
Yeah,
and he just said
it. But I think he said like in a couple of weeks or so they're gonna come out. Yeah. So
I think so.
We'll see if it has a major effect on the markets.
Can you pay for rooms in crypto? Can you pay for room service in crypto? Can you pay for, you know?
Well, we didn't even know what hotel it is.
That's very fair.
Actually, a small bed and breakfast in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's move on. So studies have shown that middle-aged Korean people are actually investing more than younger people in cryptocurrency, which is the reverse of what's happening in the rest of the world.
Where was that? South Korea?
Yeah, South Korea.
Interesting. I guess in my mind, this may be strange, but that makes sense in that I think of, you know, South Korea as a place where a few things that maybe in other countries are more acceptable just as younger people are done well into your adult years.
Like what?
That doesn't super surprise me.
Playing StarCraft competitively, you know. I don't know, to name a single. I mean, I shouldn't pretend like I don't know much about South Korea, but that is interesting, I guess.
They're very technologically switched on.
Yeah, that exactly.
They are early adopters. Like I think South Korea and Japan are early adopters to technology.
Yeah.
I would like to know if it was more money or more people, because that makes like
I think both.
Middle-aged people obviously have more money
to invest. Yeah.
If it's both, then
well,
I guess,
Although I guess actually, is there like with the aging population thing, are there more older people than younger people? Would that be a factor? I don't know.
Potential. I don't think Korea is as bad as Japan, though.
Yeah, Japan has, I think,
I'm thinking more about Japan.
The highest.
Yeah.
Median age. But cool. All right, let's keep going. If you guys remembered, I think 2 weeks ago or a few weeks ago, I went on some rant about the environmental impact of cryptocurrency mining, and the community has been responding. So last week I brought you Cryptomatoes, and this week I bring you the Crypto Hour. It's like Earth Hour, but you're supposed to turn off your crypto mining machines.
Oh, this is the Russian one.
For an hour, yeah.
Is Earth Hour a thing all over the world? I know it's a thing in Australia.
Yeah, I think it's gone worldwide, Earth Hour.
Yeah, okay.
KL.
See, that's really funny to me because it sounds like a scam. Like I don't know how that could work because the whole idea with mining is that you're competing with people at the same time. So if everyone switches off, that's
and then they're just going hard at it.
Yeah, that is the best time to mine.
Right.
And I can't imagine that everyone is so lovely and moral.
Right.
Like, we'll honor it. I'll give up on all this extra money I've been making for my company. Like I really don't believe the whole idea of having a trustless currency is we don't trust each other.
Right.
So it's very funny to think that we would, stop mining this trustless currency that exists because we don't trust each other just because of the environment for an hour.
Yeah, it could actually peak at that time because everyone's thinking time.
Yeah, exactly. Was it the government that suggested this? Or?
Yeah, I think, the Russian government, I believe.
Yeah, so they probably just some mining machines in the back, like set them to go in overclock mode at like 7 o'clock.
Yeah, and I think you're supposed to also like talk about ideas about how we can better save the environment while crypto mining and different advances in technology that you could use.
Right. Yeah, I don't think that's the solution though, because also even if every single person did that, that just means you couldn't send any transactions.
Right.
in
It's
that
just
time,
not a good
which
time.
would just suck. So
Yeah.
that's not the way to do it.
Yeah.
It's very funny to me.
So you've shut down both the environmental news stories
Absolutely.
last 2 weeks.
Well, what do you guys think about Earth Hour? I feel like Earth Hour, I've always thought it's a nice thought, but it's just a gesture, right? I don't think it actually has a meaningful impact.
Very few people who actually,
Yeah.
turned everything off for an hour as well.
I have done it before.
I have done it before too, but then like I think it's purely symbolic, and the inconvenience of it is much more than the thing you save.
I mean, all this stuff is to make yourself feel good. You do know that, Jace.
Exactly. It's like changing.
You do
your
know how
Facebook
the world
photo.
works. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but in that case, fuck you for suggesting this, Russian government.
Anything else on the news?
Yeah, there's Twitter to potentially ban crypto ads. So Facebook did it, Google did it, and now there's talk that Twitter might do it. It's not official yet. I think Sky News actually reported it, and everyone else just ran with it, but Sky News hasn't been too transparent with their sources.
And here we are. We're like, it's definitely happening.
Yeah.
No, we're better than Sky News. How good are we? We gave like a clarifier about it. Dude, we're the
Times
best.
exclusive.
Yeah, exactly.
This might happen.
The exclusives that we add, the maybe not.
Here's a CoinStreet Times exclusive. Crypto might be a great tool.
Yeah.
And you might want to go ahead with prudence.
I mean, we're not wrong. That's the important thing. Yeah, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, whatever. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't know anyone who's ever clicked on a crypto ad and been like, oh yeah, this is how I'm going to get into the market.
Well, you'd think that, but then would you ever fall for that scam about the sending like Ethereum to someone and getting double back? I always read that and think, who's falling for this? But they keep doing it, so it's got to be making them money, right? So I imagine there are people also
say that, but I know like a lot of companies have stopped investing in their digital advertising over the last few months, last like year or so, because like more research into it saying like it doesn't work.
I've always thought that. I've always thought, who's paying for this?
Yeah.
It's never worked on. I guess the thing is that they might be saying it, you don't know if it's working on you or not.
Yeah.
It's the subliminal effect, the brand recognition. But sometimes I just think, especially with the modern ad, or what I think it was at the modern ad, where they basically don't say what the brand is until the last second of the ad, and the rest is just an entertaining 29-second strange occurrence.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, so like, you have that on YouTube, and most people skip it in the first 5 seconds.
Right.
You almost don't know what you're watching. Like, it's strange to think that people are paying for that. But I don't know. The effect of advertising is very mysterious.
Yeah, I think there's a famous marketing quote. I waste half of the money I spend on advertising. The only problem is I don't know which half.
That sounds like a really smart quote, but too smart for me. I don't get it.
It's just, I think the whole point is it's so hard to get analytics of what certain advertising is bringing in terms of revenue.
Oh, wait. So they spend all their money on advertising. Oh, shit. Oh, sorry. You mean of the money I spent on advertising?
Right.
Sorry. I thought you were... Yeah, okay.
Of the money you spend on marketing, I don't know. I waste half of it. I just don't know which half.
Right. I thought you were saying...
Yeah.
I thought you were saying they spent all of their money on advertising, and that seems like a bad way to run a company.
My company's broke.
But that almost is what crypto ICOs do. They just spend... I feel like they spend 95% of their money on marketing and then 5% on trying to develop some technology or doing some coding.
They really do.
Yeah.
Most of the successful ones have 80% of their team is marketing and search engine optimization and, liaising.
Right. So should we get some programmers in at some point?
Exactly.
We'll just build the website,
copy
make
from
up
GitHub,
the team.
it's fine.
Yeah.
CoinStreet Coin.
Yeah. We honestly could. You could make it like an ERC20 coin in you can make a Bitcoin clone in 5 minutes.
Right.
We could do it. If you're willing to invest, please email us. We're trying to gauge interest. We're also looking for 17 marketers and maybe a programmer. We're looking into that later.
So yeah, that's all the news I've got. What news do you guys have this week?
So I was saying before, my ankle really sore this week.
Is there a clicking sound?
No, are you one of those people that has a clicking in your wrists and ankles? No.
Yeah, I got it on my wrist. It's horrible.
Can you chuck it to the mic, please? Let the listeners know.
I don't know if you can hear it.
Yeah. No, it didn't work.
Well, in that case, do you want to move on to questions?
Yep. Let's do it.
Preguntas. Well, this one is actually an old one that I managed to sift through and find.
Oh, right. Okay.
That was quite good.
Okay.
Hey, guys. If you had to consolidate all of your investments into one single coin, what would it be? I personally am all in on Bitcoin, BitConnect, and ooh, is it paying off for me? Love the podcast. Can't wait for your answer.
Ooh. Vance, we got some bad news. I mean, you probably already know the band from Vance from France.
So the one guy that said can't wait for your answer, you waited like weeks later to ask.
Everyone else is very medium to low priority.
I mean,
Okay.
I mean, you can't write this stuff. But also, we have a very full inbox, and
That's true.
I'm sorry, Vance. I just kind of got.
So did he say it was also in Bitcoin as well as BitConnect?
That was a faux pas on my part.
Oh, just BitConnect.
Yes.
100% BitConnect. It's a risky portfolio.
That was me putting some French in to
I see.
make Vance feel at home. Sorry,
I
carry on.
I mean, he probably doesn't live anywhere at the moment, probably on the street. So I feel like it's probably pretty, futile.
He's probably not even listening to this.
It is a good question, though. I think, your sacrifice, you're a martyr. You have lost all your money, but you've come with a great question in your excitement for all your money that you lost. I would say, is it as of now or as of Bitcoin era?
As of now.
As of now? You didn't write, Vance. You wouldn't know what Vance was. You want to give Vance what he needs.
What I took from it when I first read it was that he meant just in terms of which project do you believe in the most, I suppose.
Right. It's like a long-term hold.
Yeah. As opposed to I think this one's doing the best now.
Yeah. So this kind of harkens back to one of the first questions we answered, which was, what do we think the coin of 2018 is? But I guess it's good because we can have 3 months of insight into it. And no one probably expected exactly what, I don't think we all expected exactly what's happened so far. So it's almost like a good,
What were our picks out of curiosity?
I was pretty keen on Cardano.
Yeah.
Mine was Tether.
Were you actually? Yeah, I didn't think so. What were you, Joe?
I can't remember.
Yeah, I think I probably said Ripple and Stellar and Ethereum.
God, we were dumb. No, I'm kidding. I think I said Cardano. And I still think Cardano is good, but the problem is the price just won't let up. Even now that it's come down so far, it still feels like a slightly overpriced just because they don't have any product. But at the same time, maybe it's not, because they have just such a bright future. They have people who know what they're doing. They're very well known, one of the top currencies, and they're actually really working the technology. They've got, people writing, papers and getting them peer reviewed. So it's hard to just, not see them being a big picture in my mind. So I guess I would probably say I'm sticking with Cardano, I guess. But I also am not as confident as I was 3 months ago.
Yeah, they still haven't done a whole lot since January.
Yeah, they haven't. Have they done anything? I don't know if they've done anything. I mean,
they're up today. I know that much.
I mean, they're working hard. It's one of those things where research can take a long time.
Right.
I guess so. But that is also an issue. If they just keep researching too long and don't actually convert to a product, say near enough's good enough and actually make it a product, then that is also a mode of failure. So they have to kind of hit that sweet spot between not doing what companies are doing now, having Ryan Gosling's on their thing, 90% marketing, but they're not going too far the other way and just never.
Do you
finishing.
keep up with them in terms of their GitHub and subreddit and stuff?
I don't, because I guess I feel like if everything they do just feels long term. So I guess I just think I'll come back later. When I hear about it, I'll be like, oh wow, what's happening?
It'd be great if they come out. It's like, oh, we've done some research. We've got some good breakthroughs. They're like, we found the cure for cancer. It's like, oh shit! But
price
what about
plummets?
It's like, that's great, but fuck, yeah.
We kind of got bored of the whole crypto thing.
Yeah.
And
I don't know how we were just sleepwalking and we found ourselves researching. We were in a lab with test tubes and petri dishes, and we cured cancer. That was me demonstrating how ridiculous your concept was, Joe. How dare you?
I would say Bitcoin, because they say it's the Mongolian Monero, and that can only be a good thing.
Every time you say that, it just sounds like a drug or a name for cocaine. Joe, off podcast, you say that every second.
No, I would choose any of the coins that, because you see more and more adoption news and restaurants and shops using coins, and there's certain coins that come up a lot. So Stellar comes up a lot, Ethereum comes up a lot, Dash comes up a lot. So those kinds of coins I think would be good picks. And I was even hearing a few days ago that the Brisbane airport, Brisbane's a big city in Australia, is going to create a terminal that's going to be all crypto friendly.
What?
So all this, the newspaper stand.
That might make the news.
that was that's great news though.
It's made on. Well, yeah, okay. Well, it's here now.
Rewind.
It's here now.
Shut the fuck up, Vance. We've got important shit to do.
So yeah, like any of the food outlets, any of the like whatever, it's all going to be crypto friendly. So, and you said like it's the same sort of coins, Dash, Stellar. So though any of those coins will probably be good. That Nano probably that you hear like all these the ones that you can hear about now that like restaurants and stores are picking up on. Those are the ones to go for, I'd say.
Did you say a single terminal of the airport would be crypto? Because I feel like that would be real annoying if you're just like an 80-year-old person and you're like, oh, I'm on terminal 80. Fuck.
Yeah.
Is it crypto exclusive or is it like?
I don't know, dude.
You should see the resigned look on Joe's face. Like, come on, man. You know the answer to this.
So yeah, I would say still, I feel like Dash hasn't gotten a lot of love for this podcast.
Well, when you said Dash, then in that group, that to me that stuck out as the slightly odder one of like I don't think they're as well known as Stellar.
Yeah, but they're like I think number 12, and like they not having a fuck up for this long. I feel like that's going to be worth a fair bit.
Have they not? I haven't.
I feel like you never hear Dash in a bad light. They're always just like either helping out Africa or like I don't know.
Okay.
Adopting an orphan or kind of thing.
Yeah,
or like,
saving kids from burning buildings.
Yeah, pulling a whale out of the ocean or something. Or putting it back putting it back into the ocean.
Either or. I
guess. Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like Dash.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
No, yeah, you're right. They are.
They should get some more
your
love.
agenda, aren't you?
Yeah.
You are Vance, aren't you?
Yeah.
You know we're market movers. Now you're using this platform to...
Yeah. So, Dash will be...
Dash your pick?
Okay. No, I'll say Stellar.
Oh, okay. After all that.
No,
after all that.
I just feel like this podcast in general has not given Dash enough love.
Yeah.
So
I feel the same way about another coin I feel we never talk about. It's called VeChain. It's actually very exciting. Nah, I think my pick is Cardano. Yeah. What about you, Ollie?
Oh, I changed my mind.
Oh, come on, dude.
Nano.
Oh. Really?
Yeah.
I can see two alternate realities. I'm not convinced though yet that we're in the one where XRB goes XR big.
Ooh.
Thanks, guys. Thank you.
Snap.
Thanks, guys.
I don't know. Sorry, Vance.
What?
This is the easiest question to answer. You just say a coin.
He's been holding
Bitcoin.
He told me he would not sell his Bitcoin tokens until this question was answered. He's been waiting desperately for you to answer the question.
I think I'd probably go Stellar. I also like Amise Go. Or maybe even just Ethereum.
Yeah, actually, you know what? That seems like the smartest pick is Ethereum. At least for like the short term being a few years, I reckon Ethereum's got to go pretty good because we were talking about ERC20 tokens. I think the world doesn't recognize just how dependent so much of crypto is on Ethereum. And it's also one of the most stable I've found. Like in terms of the volatile cryptos, it's like, like ones that aren't stable coins. It's
maybe even Ripple. I know you guys don't like it, but it has so much going for it, like in terms of like partnerships with banks. And
it's similar to Stellar, right? I think if you asked most people and you did a search, we'll play Family Feud. I think the two highest scoring would be Stellar and Ripple because they've got ties with banks, or they're trying to get involved with banks. I think those would be the most common thoughts of what will be big in a few years. Yeah, but then I guess it's low risk, low reward, whereas other coins are high risk, high reward, and I want that high reward, baby. VeChain 2020. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, there you go, Vance.
Well, here's a question. What do you reckon is the most underrated coin? Because I was talking about Dash being
underrated.
Yeah, in terms of like the amount of talk.
That's a good question. I have two. Can I say two? And I'm not even shilling. Like I don't own these. So
yeah, go on.
Enigma.
Okay.
Which is great. But see, this is the thing. I don't see them really going up because they're not doing the whole crypto hype thing. So I don't actually know if they'll actually ever be big value. But the stuff they're working on is very exciting because they're working on basically having computation, like Ethereum allows decentralized computation, but private, so that you actually don't, you can get everyone to be sharing their computing power without revealing personal information. I think that's like the use for that is limitless.
Right.
Like that, it could be so huge. I think they've done really good work on it, and they have Catalyst is already out, which is like a crypto market prediction engine you can use. You can use their network right now to do that. So and they're based out of MIT. They're a bunch of really smart people. So I think they're huge. But at the same time, if you ask me for a coin that's going to moon, I feel like maybe they don't fit the bill. So that's one, and the other one, Zcash.
Okay.
Are they Bitcoin private now? Or who's Bitcoin private? I know someone's Bitcoin private. I don't know. I haven't.
Isn't that a coin itself, Bitcoin private?
No, I thought maybe it's not Zcash. Someone renamed to that. I just want to make sure I'm not saying the wrong thing.
I can look it up for you while you chat.
Okay, cool. Thanks. But so Zcash, they're also big in the privacy game and using zero knowledge proofs. Actually, maybe I should. Do you guys know what zero knowledge proofs are?
No.
Maybe I should probably tell you guys and the listeners. It's probably interesting, right? I think it's one of the most interesting technological things coming out of crypto at the moment, which is basically, it's a way for me to prove to you that I know information. I can prove it to you without you knowing what the information is, which is huge. Like, if you think about if I had a deck of cards, right?
Right.
And I picked a card out of it, and I wanted to prove to you that I knew my card, but I didn't want to tell you what the card was.
Right.
Well, let's say I wanted to prove to you that the card was red. Let's say the card was red. And I wanted to prove to you that it was red, but I didn't want to show what card it was. How would you do that? Fun. This is the fun puzzle game part of the podcast.
Check the deck and count the cards. Like check the remaining deck, I suppose, and see how many red and black cards.
Although if they know all of the 51 cards, then they know what your card is.
True.
Yeah.
You would take a picture of it in front of a white wall, zoom way in so there's a red spot on it, and then
interesting.
That's how you do it.
Well, I guess that would work, but the simplest solution, which is similar to what Ali said, but not quite, is just give them all the black cards. And then they know that you don't have one of the black cards because you've given them all the black cards.
That was a fun little...
Yeah, but that's the kind of, it's a very simplistic example, but they're basically being able to, use zero knowledge proofs. And also it's done in a really novel way now, where to do that previously, you needed two people online at the same time to interact. But the new modern way with the Zcash does it, called ZK Snarks, is non-interactive. So you can just have it be done when you're both online at different times. It could be approved rapidly. It's just very exciting. So basically, private transactions using really cool technology that, might end up with a private internet, which would be really exciting.
Are they the only one doing that, or?
They're not the only one, but I think they were doing it. I don't want to say they were doing it first because I'm not sure, but they definitely were known for doing it big. They call it Zcash because they use ZK Snarks, which is the privacy thing. So I think, I can't say for sure they were doing it first. And I can't say for sure they're the most well-known doing it, but I think they're the most well-known doing it. So yes, I'm going to say yes to all your questions.
Their Twitter bio says Bitcoin and Z Classic fork merge with a focus on making private cryptocurrency transactions mainstream.
Mm-hmm.
So Bitcoin and Z Classic fork.
Oh yeah, sorry. Maybe Z Classic was the original, but still, Zcash is the one that I am familiar with. And also, a really exciting thing they did was to make this really private technology. They actually had to generate an original secret key for the network to operate on, like a private key for the whole network. But then if anyone knew that, they could generate counterfeit tokens. So they did this really complicated thing where they got 20 different people in 20 different countries to generate part of the code on air-gapped computers. Air-gap means not connected to the internet ever. They bought them brand new, and then they had to all burn and destroy the computers. And so it's very exciting. A very exciting emphasis on security in a very action-packed way. There's a video on it. It's a 4-minute video if you look it up. It's very fun to watch.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's my very long-winded answer. Sorry for that.
I forgot what the question was.
Underrated coin.
Yep. So your underrated coin?
What do you say underrated? Do you mean price-wise, or do you mean just
take it whatever way you want. Because I think Dash is underrated probably more talk-wise than price-wise because they've got quite a large market cap.
Right.
Yeah.
IOTA. How about that?
Oh, interesting.
How talk-wise or price-wise?
Both.
Really?
I suppose they've got a little bit of chat about them. But they had a big pump. I suppose everyone had a big pump during November, December, didn't they? But I think they're the main players in the IoT space that I've seen anyway.
I would say they're the most well known.
Yeah.
And I mean, if that really takes off, then I can only see them being, huge in terms of market cap and just as a company.
Yeah, and I guess when you look at coins doing actually novel things with the blockchain, a lot of them are just ERC20 tokens, so they're not doing anything novel. But then IOTA, they're doing that what is it, the Tangle?
Tangle,
And Nano also doing like a DAG, the decentralized acyclical graph. Like, so I guess something that has more benefits or like trade-offs compared to a blockchain. I think those ones actually maybe will be kind of the early movers.
Have you heard of the, what's it called? It's another type, like hash graph, hash something.
Hash maps. Well, I think that's just like
it's an alternative to blockchain, essentially.
Well, I think I know what you're talking about, but then I think that's just like a very general term. Like it kind of encompasses a lot of things.
Oh, does it? I
think so. If I might not know what you're talking about. Maybe it's a different thing that I don't know about.
I watched like a 5-minute video on it like a month ago, and that's all that came.
Fair enough.
The word hash.
Fair enough.
And the fact that it was kind of like blockchain, but it had like some pros to it.
Well, I would hope they don't use the word hash in it, because hash is like hashing is something that's used in all crypto, not just cryptocurrency, but cryptography. Hashing is just the process of, actually, this is very exciting, but I probably don't have time to go into it. But if you guys want me to start a cryptography podcast, send in your interest at Cryptograph Times. I don't know. We need a new. Yeah. But it's interesting. You can Google it. You can watch videos on it. It's really interesting.
Well, I think that's enough for you, Vance. You got like 3 questions for the price of one there.
Yeah.
Our next one is, let me just get it. Hey, how's it going, buddies? Just curious as to what your points of view are on crypto companies focusing more on the price of their coin rather than the underlying technology. Do you think there are any major culprits of this? And do you think that it's always a negative thing? Cheers, right. Virgil. The British Virgin Islands. Distinct from the United States owned Virgin Islands.
Do you think he's ever realized that his name is kind of similar to the place that he just said he was from?
Probably not.
He's never noticed. I guess it wouldn't come up very often. But we've noticed that. Thanks for listening. I think there are a lot of coins. We were just talking about marketing being a huge focus for crypto hype. But I think there are some coins doing that. Like, for example, VeChain. I won't talk too much about them, but I saw that. All right, mate.
No, go on. Sorry, go on.
After their big rebranding in, I don't know, February, I can't remember. We talked about it a couple weeks ago. The price kind of plummeted, which was kind of expected, because then while they're going to have... Why are you laughing at that?
No, because the big rebranded and the price plummeted.
Oh, sorry. It was expected for me.
Yeah.
It's for...
Cut back to VeChain, baby!
Yeah, exactly. No, yeah. No, I think if you listen back when I first picked it, when I third picked it or something, when you guys were like, I'll let you do it once more, and I was like, don't worry, it's fine, this is the last time they'll have the rebranding, and Ollie was like, but the rebranding is going to be a few days after our next podcast, and I was like, yeah, it's fine, I want it to be before then. I did know. I'm super great at crypto. No, I'm kidding. Anyway, but then that happened, and then people kind of pulled out because, not much exciting happening until, middle of the year, where they actually launch the mainnet and start generating, Thor for people, which is like gas for Neo. Anyway, but the price was plummeting. I was watching it, and then they randomly came out with the news of like this special early investor bonus, where if you take your currency off the exchange and put it into like a special wallet, if you've got like enough of it, you can kind of lock it down into a node, which means that when the mainnet goes live and they start generating Thor, you'll get like a special extra bonus, which you can't get after I think the day was March 20. So today, I think, after if anyone who did it before, like in this last 2 weeks, you get extra bonuses forever that you can't get otherwise, which I think in my mind was their scrambling attempt to be like, we need to change our business drastically to stop the price going down. And I think it would work. I think by making people lock their tokens down, they're not going to sell as much.
Right.
But then it also maybe makes you concerned for like, if they're changing such drastic parts of their business model just to, appease the price, it makes you wonder like where are the priorities, So yeah, I guess that's my example for that.
Do you think it's always negative?
What was the exact thing that's always negative or not? What's the exact thing?
Do you think a company focusing on the price rather than the tech is always going to have a negative?
Is focusing on price almost like focusing on marketing? Would you say that?
I guess I think there is a difference, but they're similar.
Price?
Well, that's why I think this exact thing is kind of a good example of where it's focusing, because focusing on marketing would mean like we got to launch more of a marketing, get more ads out there. I think this is more like we're not doing anything to make people think we're a better product. We're just giving people an incentive to not sell right now. We're literally kind of manipulating the market, not in a bad way. See, I guess I'm answering your question because they're not manipulating the market. They're purely offering incentives to their, coin holders. I don't think what they're doing is bad. The only bad thing about it, only that I could think of, was but it makes you think: are they really, shouldn't they have a bit stronger hands and kind of ride the wave out? That's all I thought. But it wasn't like VeChain's dead now. It's like it just means that they're offering more of their coins to reward early investors. So I don't think it's always a bad thing, but it makes me wonder about the future of the market. I don't know where it's heading, and I'd be interested to see if the focus on price stays or whether it becomes more of the technology as things evolve and develop into working products.
Cool.
Well, there you go, Virgil. If anyone else has any more questions, you can send them in to us at questions@coinstraytimes.com.
Nice.
Let's play the game.
All right, you guys ready for the game?
Yes.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this monitor so that you guys can't see the picks, so it'll be a real dramatic effect. Here we go. Look at the screen.
Okay.
Try my hardest.
Okay. All right, the game. All right, the game. All right, so the game. We have an exciting week. Last week, Ollie and I were head-to-head. Ollie picking 100% Tether and me picking 100% Bitcoin. And Joe's picking normal stuff. So, more reasonable stuff. So I guess we'll start with Joe. So Joe picked 25% Ethos, 25% Digibyte, 25% EOS, 25% Litecoin.
I know Ethos had a really bad week.
Yeah, they were down 21.29%.
Yeah.
So that was the worst performer. Yeah. EOS is like about flat, which is pretty good.
EOS came back massively today.
Yeah, in this market.
It was like 30% today.
30%, wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in this market, that's good. Digibyte down 15.7 and Litecoin down 8.5. So that's an average of down 11.6%.
Cool.
So, what can you do? Down market. Then I guess I won't really draw this one out because it's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
This week, me, Bitcoin 100%. Bitcoin went down 6.75%. I lost $67. And Ollie, who picked 100% Tether, the original price of Tether was 0.999 something, and now the price is 0.9958. So Ollie has lost a whopping $3.20.
Oh.
0.32%. But Ollie is our winner with losing practically nothing.
Well done.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Who would you like to thank?
Tether.
Yeah. Thank
I
you for
like
your
the
questionable
markets for
business.
crashing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
It was a good call. It was definitely a good call. But this week I think will be harder. What are you going to do this week?
Well, this week I'm going to go 50-50.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Both 50s in Tether.
Oh, he's done it again.
50 into Stellar and another 50 into Cardano.
All right. Okay.
Because, I haven't been fully looking at the prices every day, but in the last week, I've looked a few times and they seem to be a lot lower down than they were this time last week.
They've actually both had really good days.
They've had good days, but the weeks in general. Stellar was like 40 Aussie cents, I think. Last time I properly looked. And it went down to 29 this morning. And then it was like 32 just now when I looked. Roughly. This is Australian cents.
Right.
Anyway, so it's still like there's a gap there. I feel like it can potentially move a little up. Who knows?
Makes sense to me.
And same with Cardano.
Yeah, I can see that. All right. For my picks, I only recently decided in the middle of this podcast, I'm going to go 50-50 as well. I'm going to go 50% Enigma and 50% Zcash. Because you know what? They're good coins. Yeah. They deserve some shout outs. So you know what? Let's do our boys good. How many upvotes for our boys in blue? Anyway. Right.
Yeah, cool. I might actually take a similar feel to you and just go 100% Dash.
100%?
Yeah.
That doesn't sound like you, Joe. You're not a 100% kind of guy.
I sometimes like to dabble in the 100%. Yeah.
That's fair enough.
Yeah.
So same reason? Any reason?
I just feel like they need some love from us.
I like to dabble in the 100%.
Yeah. I think they do deserve, some of our thousands of followers to get more of their attention. Yeah. That's fair enough.
And they're saving the world in Africa, so
gotta reward them.
Yeah, well.
That's true. That's true. Well, my one's a private, so fuck you, Africa. You don't know where I am, what I'm doing. All right, so I guess that's all the picks for this week. If you have any picks, which we've received tons of, like maybe we'll read some later, but if you have any picks, let us know at questions@coinstreettimes.com. And yeah, I guess that's it for this week. Do you guys have any closing notes you'd like to end on?
an inside job.
Beautiful. And that's our show this week, guys. Thank you for listening. Good night. Farewell.
Bye.
But